Hello Vault Dwellers, and welcome back to the next episode of our Fallout 3 Let's Play series. You join me here at the Citadel. We are finally allowed inside, and we have a free access to pretty much everywhere. So our quest today is to go and find out more about the vaults. So we need to go and speak with Scribe Rothschild, I think his name is. So let's go ahead and head in towards the laboratory. I believe that's probably where we are going to find him, or at least it's going to be our best spot of finding him. Yes, I think that's him over there. Excuse me, sir. So I head down here to talk with him.
I think the term you used was invariably destructive.
Yes. And I told you that in order to compensate for last Thursday's mishap, there would be some complications. I'm dealing with it.
Rothschild, old friend, you're a brilliant technician. But this old man's patience is wearing thin. I want a full status report in 3 hours.
May I start by saying that I am sorry for your loss. I was acquainted with your father many years ago. The world has lost one of its few remaining visionaries.
Well, thank you for your sympathy.
Think nothing of it. Now, Dr. Lee has explained your predicament. You need to locate some vault tech equipment.
My father was looking for something called a GAC. Do you have one?
A GEC? Goodness no, certainly not. I must say that there are some who doubt such a device really exists, let alone works. If, however, you share your father's determination, I may be able to assist you in locating one.
So you do know how to find one?
Possibly. I'm afraid I won't be able to assist you directly. The news Dr. Lee has brought will require me to be elsewhere. I can, however, give you access to an old pre-war computer from Vault Tech. It may have the information you need.
You'll find the terminal in the archives in the A-Ring.
Alright, well, thank you for your help.
You are welcome. If you require further assistance, I may be able to help.
Okie dokie. Alright, so we need to go to the A-Wing.
Hail.
Hail.
That's the armory, but we can't go in there yet. I don't know if they'll trade with us yet or not. I'll check later. I'm not quite in a hurry for it. So let's go back out to the yard and find the A-Wing. This place is a maze. Let's see, there should be another door around here somewhere. Maybe over here. Whoa, hey, don't shoot through that wall, please. Yes, there we go. Nice. Now, to find what I'm looking for,
Welcome.
we have the Great Hall. Oh, I could have gone to the lab that way. And the armory. Oh.
You just managed to get yourself into all sorts of trouble, don't you? Welcome to the Citadel. Not many civilians get to see the place.
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
I've read the reports, seen the initial scans, but I can hardly believe it. I figured those radio transmissions were just old recordings. Never figured the Enclave would actually show up, in the flesh. But don't worry. Whatever they try, we'll be ready for it. I'll lead the Pride to knock them out tomorrow, if my father permits it.
Care to share anything about super mutants now?
You've seen them, so you know what we know. What more is there to say? If we can figure out where they're coming from, we might be able to stop them. If not...
Interesting. Well, what can you tell me about the Lion's Pride?
It's the best of the Brotherhood, bar none. No one gets in without my say-so.
Interesting. I thought your dad was in charge, but I have to go now.
Stay strong.
Absolutely. I suppose I should turn my poor little Pip-Boy light on, that it's that great. So we have the archives here. And who are you? You're
What
just
I
a
really do
regular
to get my
scribe.
hands on one of those Enclave vertibirds.
Activate Maxon's terminal. Oh. Roger Maxon is the founder of the Brotherhood of Steel, second in command of the security team stationed at the West Tech Research Facility, later relocated to the Marposa military base, assumed command after nervous breakdown of security team leader Colonel Robert Spindell, executed scientists after learning of their research into the forced evolutionary virus, or the FEV, deserted from the military just before the war. Maxon ordered the family of all the base personnel brought into the facility, thereby sparing their lives. He led survivors in their exodus to the Lost Hills bunker. Maxon's wife was killed on the journey. At Lost Hills, Roger Maxon formed the Brotherhood of Steel. As the organization's first High Elder, he formed the orders of Paladins, Knights, and Scribes. Maxon Jr. took over command of the Brotherhood of Steel as High Elder in 2135, when his father, Roger Maxon, passed of cancer. In 2155, while hunting down a group of raiders known as the Vipers, Maxon, who was unhelmeted at the time, was grazed in the head by an arrow. A deadly viper poison killed him within hours, and the Vipers were one of the 5 tribes that came out of Vault 15. Jason Maxon is the son of Maxon II and grandson of Roger Maxon. A gifted soldier, John Maxon was promoted to the rank of Paladin at the age of 38 in the year 2135. Soon after, he was promoted once more to head Paladin. In 2155, Maxon was promoted to the illustrious position of High Elder when his father, Maxon II, was killed in glorious battle with the raiders known as Vipers. Records indicate John Maxon had some dealings with a mysterious figure identified only as the Vault Dweller in the year 2162 at the age of 65. And Scribe Arthur Maxon, only son of Jonathan and Jessica, both deceased, last of the Maxon bloodline, as an infant sent to the Citadel to be fostered by Elder Owen Lyons. The reason for this decision was twofold. Recent internal conflict amongst the Western Brotherhood of Steel created an unsafe environment for the child. It was believed that the Citadel, despite being located in hostile territory, would increase his probability of survival. Elder Lyons at that time was in high favor with the Western elders and deemed a perfect candidate to provide care and training to the squire. Recent events have led to a lack of communication with the Western elders. As a result, Squire Maxon will remain at the Citadel indefinitely. Interesting. Elder Lyons was actually sent to Chicago to check on a group that had been sent to Chicago, but they had lost communication with the Western Brotherhood of Steel. So Elder Lyons was sent out to check on them, and in a strange coincidence got veered off course and ended up here at the Citadel. So that's why there is a Brotherhood of Steel on the East Coast. The state of Maxon in the new California Republic was built in close proximity to the Lost Hills bunker and enjoyed the protection of the Brotherhood of Steel. No additional information is available at this time. Oh man, that is a lot. Roger Maxon started this log because it doesn't look good for any of us, and I'd like for people to know what really happened here. All heck broke loose when we finally discovered that those scientists were up to. The colonel has locked himself in his office and seems to be having some sort of breakdown. The men are screaming for blood. They're looking for me for answers, and I'm not sure what to do. Someone has to do something, though, before this place sinks into an anarchist bloodbath. What he's talking about are the events from Fallout 1 with the Master, and actually before the war, the scientists had developed the FEV and were giving it to people, and it was turning him into mutated creatures, which kind of led to the Master being born or created in Fallout 1. Every time we get a report from higher up, things get worse here. The war is going in a very bad direction, and this place is about to go into full mutiny with all the chaos that entails. I stopped one of the men from executing a scientist today and demanded that we interrogate them to find out what their orders were. I killed a man today. I was interrogating Chief Scientist Anderson, and he was giving me the full details of their inhuman experiments. He said his orders came from the government, but I didn't buy it. He started screaming about he was following orders, how he was a military man, and I just shot him. I tell myself it was to keep him from causing a full mutiny among the men, but I'm not so sure. I tried again to speak to the colonel through the door, but he seems to have completely lost touch with reality. I broke down the door with several of the men, just in time to watch him blow his head off. Right before he pulled the trigger, he said he was sorry. By killing the egghead, I seem to have confirmed my position as leader of the men. They follow me without question now. The interrogations invariably end up being executions. Shellman held out the longest, but the end result was the same. Her arguments about her orders were a bit too specific to be completely made up. I'm getting a real bad feeling in my gut about how this is all going to end up. I don't even lie to myself anymore about my reasons for executing the scientists. I finally replied to the outside world over the radio. I don't know why they never sent anyone here to see what was happening when we stopped responding to their transmissions. It doesn't make any sense. Well, they'll come now. I declared ourselves seceded from the Union. They remember Jefferson Davis. What will history say about me? Interesting. What the heck is going on? We declared ourselves to be in full desertion from the army and no longer under the government's command. And what happens? Nothing. Something bad is coming down. This is the day before the bombs fell, and October 23rd, 2077 is the day that the world changed. I can't believe those guys finally did it. Dang them all to heck. They finally let the A-bomb fly. We were right in the middle of trying to pry the real story out of von Felden when we completely lost contact. I have a feeling the research center was hit hard. I don't know why, just call it a gut feeling. It seems inconceivable that we're not targeted. I'm sure China will make up for that oversight real soon. Luckily, we had moved our families from outside into the facility the day before yesterday. We do not yet know if the fallout has reached this area. Sergeant Plattner volunteered to go outside today to take specific readings on the atmosphere. It seems the radiation has not spread this far. Since he was wearing his power armor, there was no threat to him from radiation, but if he had been exposed, he would have had to be exiled. We don't have adequate decontamination facilities here. I convinced the men that we should bury the scientists. I don't know why. Perhaps it was to ease my conscience. I finally started to believe their stories when the last one was dying. My God, what have I become? We're leaving this godforsaken place today. I'm leading the exodus to the old government bunker at Lost Hills. I'm leaving this log behind to be buried when this place goes in the next exchange. Who knows? Maybe someone will find it someday. Wow. Lot of back history there. I really like that. And actually, if we wander around enough, we can meet Arthur Maxson. Maybe we should do that. So right now, though, this is where we need to go. And we have all these vaults. So Vault 76 is actually pertinent to us because this is about Fallout 76, but actually not the information that we are looking for. Vault 76 is one of our 17 control vaults. It will operate exactly according to the plan dictated in the marketing material produced by Vault-Tec and precisely to residents' expectations. This vault will open automatically after a period of 20 years, and the residents will be pushed back into the open world for study in comparison to other experiments. And that they did, but it was 25 years. So the overseer kept us in there 5 years extra. Vault 87. Alright, so Vault 87 appears to be the vault that we need. It does contain a GAC. And we have no idea what we can learn about it. Interesting. So back, Vault 92. Access is restricted on that one. What about Vault 101? No. Interesting. (106) Here we go. Archivist note. This information has been redacted at the request of Dr. Albert Lyris of the Psychological Research Department and Chief Overseer of the Vault 106 project. All inquiries into the goals and research method of Vault 106 are to be directed through his office. Well, maybe we need to go and check out Vault 106. What about Vault 108? The file is corrupted. Interesting. And 112? Access is restricted on that one as well. Dr. Stanislaus Braun, due to the nature of the project in Vault 112 and the highly automated systems designed to support it, the vault requires only a single administrator. Well, we've already been to Vault 112 and we already know what was going on there. Alright, well, anything here? No. And no requisition forms. Okay. Nice. So we've found all of that. Are you... No, you're just a regular scribe. I need scribe, Rothschild? No, not you. Codename Paladin. Further investigation into the UFO codename Paladin had confirmed our suspicions. On the evening of May 3rd, 2062, an alien craft of unknown make and origin did indeed breach the airspace just north of Hagerstown, Maryland, and crashed into a heavily wooded, non-residential area. Unfortunately, attempts to retrieve the craft proved unsuccessful. It simply could not be located, either due to some kind of advanced invisibility shielding, or because the occupant managed to make repairs and vacate the crash site before our arrival. Despite our failure of recovery, the significance of this event cannot be denied. We are not alone. Oh, well, maybe we need to go and investigate this site. Ooh, that sounds fun. Project Brainstorm. Alright, so nothing really on Project Brainstorm. And this last one. Development of the mutant undermining life forms continues apace, and our chief bioengineers are certain that they will be able to perfect these living weapons in time for deployment into Red China. Once covertly released into an enemy's environment, their aggressive qualities, dangerous hunger, and pervasive breeding should severely undermine the infrastructures of the location in short order, softening the target for ground invasion. At this point, the genetic kill switch can be activated, following for easy reclamation, not including a significant one-time cleanup effort. Current MUL development primarily uses genetic stock of rodents, particularly the common sewer rat, and progress has been significant. FEV testing has been rejected, however, as the results are sterile. Right, so super mutants do not breed. They are created by being exposed to the FEV virus.
So I went ahead and handled it for you.
Alright, Scribe Jameson, you I need to talk
I am
to.
Scribe Jameson. Word of your ordeal has spread. I am truly sorry for the loss of your father. But if I can help you in any way, please let me know.
I found a Brotherhood holotag. What should I do with it?
You have? Oh my. This brings to light a sad affair for the Brotherhood. But perhaps it is something that you can assist us with. If you have the time, I have an offer for you.
Sure, I've got all the time in the world.
Good. As I'm sure you've noticed, the Brotherhood operates all over the DC ruins, often detached from the main base here at the Citadel. We're short on communication equipment, so many of the groups in the field operate as independent cells, without standing orders. Sometimes, I'm afraid that their missions end in their deaths. As Keeper of the Scrolls, it's my charge to write of each fallen brother's deeds.
And without radio equipment, you can't keep track of them.
Exactly. A brother fallen in the field may have no one to carry word of his death back to me. In calmer times, we could send detachments and messengers to learn their fates, but with our manpower stretched thin, we have no such luxury. Which is why I must now ask you for your help. Each brother wears a holotag like the one you found. Should you find any of the fallen brethren in the field, I ask that you return their tags to me, so that I might record their deeds in the scrolls.
Okay. Well, what are the scrolls that you mentioned?
Scrolls are kept by the head librarian of each Brotherhood bunker. The scrolls are a record of the Brotherhood itself. Into each scroll is written the name and deeds of each of our brothers. Battles, what technology is recovered, when he was promoted, everything. The last entry for each brother is that brother's death. It is important, as the way a man dies is just as important as the manner in which he lives. And so, each man who nobly serves the Brotherhood ascends into our history, to be remembered by those who come after him.
Alright, well, let's talk about something else.
As you wish. Just remember, more tags, more reward. I know how you outsiders think.
Alright, well, would you care to share anything about the super mutants?
The Brotherhood has been battling super mutants for decades. First out west, then in Chicago, now here. But this group of super mutants is different somehow. Physically, yes, but mentally as well. If we knew where they came from, we'd know why.
Alright, any thoughts on the Enclave?
Quite a few. But most are distinctly unladylike and unworthy of discussion. I will tell you that the Brotherhood has encountered the Enclave before, and their motives were just as sinister then as they are now.
Alright, well, I have to go now.
Go with peace and knowledge.
Alright, thank you. Alright, well, I suppose we should get back out of here. You know, I really wouldn't mind finding little Maxon if I could. It's the library. Yeah, this is the barracks back in here. Is this his room? There he is. Hey.
Hail to you, stranger. I am Squire Maxon, loyal servant of Steel. It is an honor to make your acquaintance.
The honor is all mine, Squire.
Oh, well, thank you. Your words are very kind. Kinder than those I usually hear. Is there something I can help you with?
Well, what do you make of the Enclave, Squire?
You're asking me what I think about the Enclave? Well, the Brotherhood of Steel has actually faced the Enclave before. Back west. More than 30 years ago, according to our chronicles. Judging from those records, I'd say their soldiers are outfitted in advanced power armor Mark II. It's pretty strong. Better than our power armor. And some of their technology is amazing. Vertibirds, plasma weapons that can turn a man to goo. Does that help?
It did, thank you. I don't suppose you know anything about the super mutants.
Oh yes. I've studied them quite a bit since I've been here. They're not all the same, you know. Besides the regular ones. There are also brutes. And after them, the masters. They're really tough. But the worst of all? The behemoth! He's a giant! I saw one once, outside the Citadel walls. So scary. The super mutants are all over the city ruins. But Elder Lyons doesn't actually think they're from there, or we would have found their home by now. It kind of seems like they're looking for something, but we're not really sure what that is.
Interesting. Alright, well, it was a pleasure talking with you, Squire Maxon. I have to go now.
May we speak again soon.
May we. Interesting. Alright, can I find your terminal, little one? Yeah, you're back in here, right? I'm gonna just look on your... Ooh, very hard. Ah, man. Alright, well, I'll have to remember that. Because my science skill is not high enough. We'll have to definitely come back and check out his terminal at another time. But for now, let me get out of here. And let's head back over to the the laboratory wing, which is that's the courtyard this way.
Hail.
Ah, there you went. Oh, you're a slippery little feller. Oh no, you're Elder Lyons. You're not who I want. You're not who I want either. Where did my little feller go that I need here? Ah, is that him over there?
Need something, friend? Welcome.
Yes, there you
Did
are.
you have any success with that old terminal?
Vault 87 has a GAC, but I don't know where it is.
Ah, well, that much I believe I can help with. Step over here for a moment. I'll show you where it is.
Okay. I guess I'll follow you. Oh yeah, this thing is so cool. I love this map.
This map shows the locations of all known vaults in the local area. Vault 87 has been highlighted for you. There. Entrance to Vault 87 will be particularly difficult for you, I'm afraid.
Why? What's difficult about it?
The area is highly irradiated. Lethal levels are all around the entrance. Gaining direct access will be quite impossible.
Well, how do I... Well, there's got to be another way.
You share your father's determination, it seems. And in this case, you are correct. There may well be another way. Vault 87 is located very close to the site of Lamplight Caverns. It is entirely probable that the vault may be entered from within the caves.
Well, I guess it's time to find out. I can go there by myself.
The Brotherhood simply cannot spare the resources necessary to investigate the area. Perhaps you may be more successful. If you do find anything, please return here so that we may decide how best to proceed.
Well, thank you for your help.
I wish we could do more, but the Brotherhood potentially faces a very pressing, very real threat in the Enclave.
Right.
All of my efforts must now be devoted to assessing the threat they may pose to us. I'm sure you understand.
I'm sure. All right. Oh, very cool. So we have Vault 101 where we came from. Vault 106 is very close. We should probably go and visit that. Vault 87 is over there. Vault 108 and Vault 92. And actually, Vault 92 is the one that I'm kind of interested in going and seeing next. Yeah, I think actually what we're going to do, since we're going to be doing some vault splunking, why don't we get out of here and we'll go ahead and head over to, is her name Agatha? Yeah, I think her name is Agatha. Let me figure out how to get out of this joint. Gravy. Place is a rat maze. There we go. So, where I want to go... Nope. I want the world map. I need the Mariposa train yard here. Or the Maresti, I'm sorry, the Maresti train yard. I want to go to Agatha's house. So let's mark it there. Oh no. First, let's put our paperboy down. Let's be smart about this. And we're going to travel here. Alright guys, so we're almost here to Agatha's house. This has got to be like one of the most hidden entrances, I swear. I always like walk right past it. I'm pretty sure I've actually been by here several times or underneath of it. But back in here is a very sweet little old lady who I've been wanting to meet for a while. And we've found her house. I mean, I think her and her husband did very well for themselves. Very off the beaten path. And like I said, easily overlooked. So let's go in here and meet Miss Agatha. Although, what time of the day is it? I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and just wait till morning. That should do it. Let's go in here and talk with her. She should be up. There she is.
Oh, my. You certainly do look a little bit worn out from your travels. Oh, just look at my terrible manners. I'm Agatha. It's so nice to meet you. Now, what brings you all the way out here?
Oh, well, that's funny. I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just fine out here. My husband, rest his poor soul, saw to it that our house was well protected from the elements and the inhabitants of the wastes.
Oh, your husband's dead. I'm sorry.
Well, that's kind of you to say. Yes, he's gone. After he built this place, we spent many happy years together. We decided to cut off contact with the outside world and just depend on each other for comfort and company.
Surely you haven't severed all contacts.
Oh, goodness, no. I have a supply caravan that passes here maybe once a week. I trade with him for whatever I need, and I stock up enough till they return.
Oh, that sounds risky. What if the trade caravan never arrives?
Well, I always have my husband's old radio set to fall back on. I used it once in an emergency when a group of raiders was getting a bit too close for comfort to my house. Otherwise, I use it to broadcast my so-called music I play from my homemade violin.
I guess the homemade violin is never quite in tune.
Oh, you are a clever one. Yes, that's exactly the problem that I have with it. It doesn't quite play all of the notes correctly, and I have to constantly tinker with it.
Your husband's radio can broadcast across the entire Capital Wasteland?
Yes, my husband was very proud of the setup. He tinkered with that thing for years to get it working. I've tried to use it to get whatever I need, but I've never gotten a reply.
You built a homemade violin. Very impressive.
Thank you. While my husband had his hobbies, I'm afraid mine was making that sorry instrument. I only wish I could replace it with something better.
Well, is there any way that I can help?
But now that you mention it, yes, there is. My training depends on my violin. Without it, I have nothing to play, no way to make music. If you can bring me a violin, a better one, I'd feel much more secure.
A violin? That's hardly something that would have survived the war.
Yes, very sad, isn't it? Sad to think that no more musical instruments will ever be made the old way ever again. Well, fortunately, I know where perhaps the last real violin in the world exists. If you give me your word that you will recover it, I will tell you more.
Well, I want to help you, but that type of search could cost me greatly.
You have a point. Perhaps I've been neglecting needs that you might have and being selfish. I have a small amount of ammunition that my husband left behind. A box of odds and ends. I don't think I've opened it in years. If you do this for me, you're welcome to take whatever you need.
All right. I'll give you my word I'll do my best to recover a violin for you.
Oh, I don't think I've been this happy in years. As promised, here's the key to the ammunition box. It's right under the radio table. Before you leave, I have some information that may help you, at least a place to begin. It all starts with my great-great-grandmother Hilda back in 2077, before the bombs fell.
2077? I can't even imagine that long ago.
It certainly is a long time. That precious instrument has been through a lot. Anyway, Hilda was quite a special woman, classically trained and exceptionally talented at the violin. Her pride and joy was her Stradivarius violin. I can only imagine how exquisite this instrument must have been. When the war reared its head, she was invited by Vault Tech into Vault 92. They claimed the vault would be dedicated to preserving musical talent.
Musical talent? Why would they care about that?
Vault Tech was always promoting the vaults being used for the preservation of the arts and all that nonsense. Hilda couldn't pass on a chance to meet many of the other musical talents of the world, so she accepted their invitation. Then the bombs fell, the vault was sealed, and my family never heard from her again.
After 200 years, how can you be certain the violin is in decent shape?
She kept it in a special pressurized case. Inside the case is the perfect temperature and humidity for the instrument. If the case is still functioning, the Stradivarius would be in perfect shape. Hilda's Stradivarius was named the Swa Stradivarius. All of them had names. That's what I want you to get.
Well, I know where Vault 92 is. I can head there right away.
You do? Amazing! Thank you for this. You have no idea what this means to me. Good luck to you.
Can you tell me a bit about your great-grandmother?
She was quite a special woman. Hilda was her name. Classically trained and exceptionally talented at the violin. Her pride and joy was her Stradivarius violin. I can only imagine how exquisite this instrument must have been. When war reared its head, she was invited by Vault Tech into Vault 92. They claimed the vault would be dedicated to preserving musical talent. Happily, she accepted. After she entered Vault 92, the bombs fell, and the story as I know it ends.
What do you know about the Stradivarius?
Not too much, I'm afraid. It was fabricated way back in 1714 by a famous Italian craftsman named Antonio Stradivari. He had made a bunch of Stradivarius violins, actually, and each one was individually named over time to identify them. They are regarded as the most outstanding instruments ever made, and no two sound alike, they say. Incredible! Since the bombs fell laying waste to most of the world, it may be safe to say that this could be the last surviving violin of its kind.
How will I know the Stradivarius when I see it?
Well, from my great-great-grandmother's diaries, I have deduced that she had a special pressurized case created for it. Hopefully, the Swa Stradivarius was in the case when she... well, you know.
Alright, so now we have an image of the case. Well, can I ask you about something else?
Well, okay.
Do you have any information on Vault 92?
I'm sorry. I wish I did. All I know is that Vault Tech intended it to be a protective environment for the world's musical talent. When the bombs fell, the vault was sealed, and the rest is a mystery. Perhaps when you find it, you can find some sort of a record of what occurred inside.
Well, can you tell me anything about Vault-Tec headquarters?
From what I gather, it's located in the ruins of D.C. I got the location from one of the supply caravans. They told me it had extremely high security and something they call a mainframe inside. I'd imagine it's quite dangerous. I'd be careful if I was you.
Okay, I got that. Well, I have to go now.
Watch yourself out there.
So if I had said that I didn't know where the vault
What do you
was,
think you're doing?
nothing. She would have sent me to Vault-Tec headquarters, which we're still going to probably end up exploring, I hope, at one time or another. But for now, I think we have got quite a few leads. We're going to be heading off to Vault 92 in the next episode before making our way over in the general direction of a little lamplight. But for now, thank you all so very much for joining me today. I've been Vault Girl. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope I see you in the next one.